KELIANBAO versus SPHYNX here, and SPHYNX, on the other hand, looking for his first legend finish here tonight.
His best rank is 2. He really wants that number 1. SPHYNX is also a household name in his own way because he's been around the block when it comes to legend tournaments. We've seen him a few different times. Wouldn't be surprised if that title is near for him because I feel like he's getting closer every single time, Topa.
Yeah, he really is. I believe that is quite true. I think the first time that he was in Legend Tournament, he got knocked out in the first round, and the second time that he actually did make the rank 2 spot. So maybe tonight he gets that legend spot. But for now, KELIANBAO opening with a Gianna and looking to do quite a similar draft to what Tars was doing in the previous set.
I'm not too surprised because it's so powerful. But yeah, these units have been pretty ubiquitous between the first semifinals match and this one. I've got to tell you, man, I'm low-key rooting for SPHYNX going in here. I'd love to see him finally get that number 1. The Wind Twin Angels too, Topa. Oh my goodness. Let's see. I want these guys to dig a little bit deeper into their box.
Well, they're doing maybe just that now with that Pater pick, but we're seeing somewhat similar drafting as in the previous sets. Like KELIANBAO is drafting somewhat similar to Tars, and SPHYNX is drafting somewhat similar to Pooh here, which is quite interesting to see, given that they actually had the same exact pre-bans as well. Pooh was pre-banned the segment, and Tars was pre-banned the Water Twin Angels, and now, you know, those are also in the pre-bans here again.
KELIANBAO is finally picking a couple new units here, Volantis and Eleanor. Those are the first 2 units in this entire draft that we haven't seen before. What's going to be real interesting, though, is when one of these players ultimately goes to the final slot and then they start stealing each other's picks, and maybe then people have to dig a little deeper. I'm actually a little surprised that it's taken this long for Juno to pop out.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. You know, now that, I mean, there's Volantis and Voltage, you know, this is a great Juno pick. Also, the Eleanor, I was expecting maybe to see Eleanor a bit sooner. She has also been a very, very prevalent pick on the latter season.
Yeah, you know, persistent immunity is really helpful. And earlier today, we saw that the glance that she imposed coming into play. Oh, you know what? It was while we were watching the stream leading into this. Here we go, everybody. We're getting into the first round. SPHYNX versus KELIANBAO right now. We're on our way to finding who will be our second finalist today, and we're starting it off with a full team strip stun from Gianna.
Yeah, but Pater, you know, just a phenomenal pick coming out of SPHYNX here, and just completely negating that Gianna skill tree, you know, just getting that attack bar from that immunities being removed, and then just cleansing up the entire team. But now Volantis is looking to just do the same as Gianna just did.
We're just like trading effective skills from the respective druids right now, you know, and it's very funny the way that they answer each other like this. Volantis ultimately coming out on top here because he's the second to move, and a clutch little resistance plus a proc KELIANBAO. Things are shaping up for him right now.
Yeah, but the unicorn did also get stunned there, which is effectively the same as a reset, as, you know, the unicorn transformation is only on a 1-turn cooldown. If you were to get a violent proc, you would have that available, and then consequently would have the skill to cleanse available. But Oliver, you know, not getting that cooldown reduction now, so he's going to be missing out on some cycling here in a little bit.
True that. Yeah, and he doesn't get the baked-in cooldown reduction from that skill either. Things are looking good, but the tides can turn quickly, especially when Pater starts landing big hits on Brand.
Yeah, and Eleanor not getting that clutch violent proc, and the Sierra is likely not long for this world.
Oh, she's gonna get 1 bomb potentially. I don't remember how far off Pater is. Oh, she gets none.
She gets 1 more dot is what she will be getting here before we say goodbye to Sierra here. And yeah, SPHYNX is looking very, very strong here.
That's the worst feeling. That is like the worst. So we can go ahead and cleanse up that Sierra, but I still don't think it's too long for the world. Actually, he does have to work at it a little bit more. I'm realizing now that SPHYNX actually doesn't have so much damage that he can confidently knock this thing out that quick. He's got to sink at least 3 turns into it.
I was really surprised that Sierra lived that Patter skill, but I didn't see a HP bar on it, and it still lived a hit, and Eleanor getting that heal. But ultimately, I don't think it's going to make a difference here. SPHYNX still, managing to take that Sierra out before he does any more damage, and still very much in control.
Yeah, SPHYNX is taking that control, like you said, very much in it. KELIANBAO even got an ample dose of lucky and unlucky. I'll give him that, especially missing the bomb of Ciara. So it's been a mixed bag for KELIANBAO, and if anybody could turn it around in a second game, it's him. But SPHYNX should be savoring this right now and thinking about how he could keep this lead.
Yeah. Going back to, once again, the drafts being like very similar to what Tars and Pooh were doing the first round, I really like the adaptation from SPHYNX, though, taking the Oliver away from KELIANBAO's draft here potentially. Maybe he wasn't even planning to pick that, but still getting that 33% speed lead definitely did wonders for his team, and not getting all those attack bar reductions coming on his side. So
yeah, season 32 has been an age of denying picking Oliver, prioritizing that 33 lead, and taking it away from your enemy. SPHYNX is carrying that tradition on in the Legend tournament. Yeah, that's a really good take there. So, going into the second game then, Topa, are you expecting KELIANBAO to prioritize the Oliver and take it away?
I wouldn't really expect that, though. KELIANBAO does have a lot of other speed lead units that he likes to use. Maybe we'll see him pick the Chandra as well as the Yuldong. I know he's liked that draft in the past. Not sure if he's still been playing it, in season 32 here, but that would be nice to see.
That would be cool to see. Yuldong is one of those units that's kind of like I describe it as a stylish unit, big damage in hand. It's very very fun to watch. So it'd be cool to see him dip a little bit deeper into his box. He's very much playing to the meta, and there is some validity to that because you also deny it from your enemy, who is most likely going to be playing it too. SPHYNX getting ahead though early is really impactful for him. That's super important to be able to get that one round ahead, get that psychological damage into it.
Oh yeah, that these are a best of 5, so it's not that huge of a psychological damage here. KELIANBAO still, and we saw how chill KELIANBAO was even at the World Finals of SWC. So I don't think the pressure is probably not getting to KELIANBAO, but still, point's a point, and SPHYNX will, I'm sure he'll gladly take that point.
It looks like SPHYNX is taking out the Laura early, and the Wind Twin Angels strong enough to soak up a pre-ban on the Legend tournament stage. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is not a pre-ban I was expecting here, but Laura, definitely a valid pre-ban here. We'll see what SPHYNX decides to first pick here. Maybe taking something away from KELIANBAO, or sticking to his. Well, now he doesn't have the Wind Angels.
So he goes for the water variety instead. Ramael and Judaya. KELIANBAO responding with a Gianna and taking a long time to think about it. You had brought up the Chandra. Great call there, Topa.
Yeah, still favoring that Chandra, and SPHYNX had that Water Twin Angel being pre-banned in the last match. Now, different color Twin Angel got pre-banned, so he just picks up that one, and again the Oliver as well as the Jongnam.
Similar picks from SPHYNX. I like the lockdown potential from the Jongnam. KELIANBAO showing that he's actually got a number of different options he could bring. Ultimately lands on the Mi Ying instead of the Zenisek, which I think is actually pretty cool. I wouldn't hate to see a Zenisek. I do think that, strictly speaking, Zenisek actually is like technically a better counter, but I like Mi Ying more because of the damage potential.
Yeah, both are definitely valid here. Zenisek might be a little bit weaker to what SPHYNX is looking to draft here, especially in, like that Zeratul would definitely do a number on the Zenisek here. But and then KELIANBAO also picking up a Sekhmet, definitely does need some sort of a speed threat here, so that SPHYNX doesn't just completely run over him.
Whoa. SPHYNX going super aggressive now, bringing the first Julienne of the tournament. That's pretty cool. And then KELIANBAO walking in a Sonya to threaten killing an early Zeratul or taking out an Oliver. Is a great last pick from KELIANBAO. Ultimately, I do think it's probably going to get banned.
Well, KELIANBAO with that last pick, he only has one speed lead in the Chandra, but notice that SPHYNX only has one Swift unit on his side, which is that Water Toon Angel, so that definitely has to be banned. And we'll see, is KELIANBAO still fast enough? He doesn't have a speed lead, and Jongnam does have a very, very high base speed, but KELIANBAO should still be able to take the turn 1 here.
Oh, so he gets it with the Sekhmet, but Sonya is going to get cut by the Jongnam at least.
Yeah, I believe the Oliver might be moving in front of the Sonya as well, but this Gianna is moving to hopefully... oh my god, that freeze is nasty.
That was a bold choice. Oh my god, bold moves win games, but that was a big clapback from the Gianna. How much damage can this Julian deal?
Yeah, maybe that freeze wasn't also all that necessary, since that Julian did cut in and probably would have been able to stun the Sonya here. But yeah, Zeratul getting a violent proc out now too. I don't think this Sonya is really gonna survive for too long here.
It's probably not too long for the world, but I think he's gonna wrap up the Gianna. He's gonna try to wrap up the Gianna, so that way he doesn't have the chance to accidentally glance on the Sonya, maybe. And there's Julien cleansing himself up at the start of his turn, securing the kill on Gianna. Things are looking pretty good for SPHYNX right now.
Yeah, they're looking great. Very very well played by SPHYNX there. Not risking that glance in the Sonya, as you mentioned, to give it that attack part, knowing that his Oliver is faster and therefore is able to get that reset on the Sonya. And that Zeratul almost just one-shot this meeting.
Yeah, and it's a battle of super high damage units here. That actually, it might be enough to knock out the Mi. He's thinking about it right now. He's thinking, do I want to go for the Sonya or the Mi Ying? I would maybe do Sonya. It's a very close call, but just because of the damage reduction from Mi Ying, I think I'd go for it. There you go.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised at the Sonya speed from KELIANBAO. Almost feels like it's missing a rune, to be completely honest, because we saw the Gianna actually. The Gianna outsped a Sonya. Sonya has 19 higher base speed than a Gianna. And historically speaking, I've been on the receiving end of KELIANBAO Sonya, okay? Like, that thing used to be very, very fast.
It's a really good point, because I wanted to bring that up, because it wasn't just one unit that moved ahead of her. It was she was frozen for a while. Like she was stuck there, not moving for quite some time. So yeah, it definitely backfired. He was hurting from losing the speed lead for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Whether it was maybe, I mean, I doubt that it was unruined, I guess. Maybe KELIANBAO didn't think that would be that much of a force ban, but definitely not optimally ruined there, because getting a Sonya to outspeed a Gianna shouldn't be too difficult. So maybe some sort of a miscalculation on KELIANBAO's part there.
Definitely. And now SPHYNX is definitely at the point where he's ahead. He's got the rounds to lose right now. Like, this is all SPHYNX needs to move ahead and take that finalist slot from KELIANBAO, which would honestly be a huge upset, because even though Pooh was the defending Legend Tournament champion, KELIANBAO actually has the most Legend Tournament titles under his belt and an SWC champion title.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows KELIANBAO. He needs no introduction, and SPHYNX is making almost easy work of KELIANBAO here, which is just absolutely mind-blowing.
I'm really rooting for SPHYNX here, man. I think so. Here's where things start getting a little bit weird, right? Because SPHYNX has generally been kind of unchallenged in what he's picking, and this is the first time where KELIANBAO is like, okay, I'm going to take your Oliver away.
Yeah, KELIANBAO, I guess, taking your advice a little bit there, just stealing that Oliver, but now he sees his Gianna being stolen, and also Jamire making a return, which is a bit surprising to me.
Yeah, he keeps showing up, doesn't he? People in chat calling for a reverse sweep right now from KELIANBAO. That would be crazy, but that's exactly the sort of crazy that KELIANBAO specializes in. Let's see if he's got what it takes to do a reverse sweep tonight. I don't know, truly. I think SPHYNX actually might have the tempo here. He might have dissected the team comp. I don't know. Topa, what do you think? Do you think SPHYNX got this, or can KELIANBAO turn it around?
As much as I like to, believe in KELIANBAO, this is a pretty tough ask to, get 3 wins in a row against, I mean, any player, and then let alone, someone of Sphinx caliber here, legend tournament contestant. And yeah, it's going to be a hard one, but if anyone can do it, I think it would be KELIANBAO.
And there's the return of the Zenisec draft. I don't know if KELIANBAO is actually going to lock it in yet. He doesn't seem super enthusiastic about these. This is actually this is decent now that he's got some cleanse options available, and of course SPHYNX locking in a very aggressive last pick to just double down on that damage.
Yeah, I'm not super enthusiastic about the Zenisec here. They're sure it counters the Gian a little bit, but there's also a lot of immunity and even cleanse from the Jemire on the side of Sphinx. So like those bombs from Zenisec, don't think they're going to be, doing a whole lot. I definitely favor a Sphinx draft here.
Yeah, good assessment. Yeah, because I agree with what you're saying. KELIANBAO, I don't think has enough strip to really make anything stick for a long time on Sphinx's team here. We are going into potentially the last game of the set. SPHYNX starting us off.
Yeah, as you mentioned, there's very limited buff removers on the side of KELIANBAO here. That Laura being obviously the main one just takes that ban, and now he's left with just a skill 2 of Jongnam that has a 3-turn cooldown and only removes a single buff. So we'll see if, I mean, well, he misses the first one, but even if he lands, there's still another immunity option on the side of Sphinx. So
that is rough. Now, in your mind, Topa, is Sphinx's position worth ripping Jameer's 3rd skill from this, or would you hold it?
I would, well, especially with that Wind Twin Angel proc there, I think I would just use the Jemire skill 3. Your Wind Twin Angel doesn't have any skills anyways. Just get those back, make sure your Gianna stays alive, because he did not use Gianna's skill 3 turn 1, which is going to be now very, very impactful here in getting those buff removes out, especially when the Druid is in, the Druid form and therefore can't cleanse himself.
Look at that, dude. Oliver just he's just rendered completely inert here. Like, he can't do anything on his turns for a little while. Like, that was incredibly awkward for him.
Yeah, I do see a potential for KELIANBAO's draft here, and that is that Sphinx does not have any heals on his side of team, so KELIANBAO could potentially win out on the long game here, as well as Sphinx is a little bit light on damage if the Gianna bombs, miss or are otherwise just cleansed.
Strong point. The lacking sustain, and also it's gonna be hard to actually crowd control a significant portion of this team. He seems to be landing these stuns on kind of the wrong units here, but he's fortunate because the immunity is going to keep Oliver and Jongnam at bay.
Yeah, and this slow debuff is also doing wonders. That slow debuff is really, and as well as having the slow or speed buff on his side, on Sphinx side here, that's giving him an incredible turn advantage here, and he's able to just pummel that damage in, and now looking to almost take out his pattern here.
A 30% reduction to speed is absolutely nothing to scoff at. Like, that just nets you quite a few more turns than you think it does. It's painful. I would say backbreaking to have that thing on you.
Oh yeah, for sure. That is, arguably the strongest debuff in the game for crowd control. And now we say goodbye to that pattern. Well, that Gianna is still hanging on for dear life.
Yeah, and he can steal something if he wants, or he could. I would just take the skill 1 and take the kill on Gianna, but he's probably going to wait for Zenisec to skill 1 it.
Yeah, KELIANBAO is definitely on the back foot here, so needs to be maybe a little bit greedy with his skills here, and it really needs to get the most damage possible there, but it's all over.
Oh my goodness. Sphinx just 3-0'd KELIANBAO.